After a weekend of watching people dress up in robes and pretend to cast spells, I am finally back to normalcy of making my pets fight other people's pets. Hey everybody, Nick from OnGaard TCG, and today we have a very exciting deck. At least I think it's a super exciting deck, and today is brought to us by OnGaard TV. A link to OnGaard's Twitter in the video description as well, and I'm really excited about this deck. But before we get into it, like, subscribe, comment, all that kind of stuff tells YouTube this is a good channel and other people should watch it. If you're in the market for some TCG accessories, I am now affiliated with Dragon Shield, which means you can use the link in the video description to get to yourself. So, I stuttered over that one. To get yourself some awesome Dragon Shield matte sleeves, they're the only ones I use. You show up to regionals looking and feeling like a pro. Lastly, there is of course a membership option. You can click the join button to see all the different perks you get from becoming a channel member, but none of that is required. Just you being here is enough for me. Now, I went to Universal. Well, before we, we'll backtrack, right? Where was I? I was in Universal over the weekend because the Orlando Regionals was scheduled for April 2nd and 3rd or something like that. And I booked a flight for me and my wife. We were going to go to Orlando. I was going to play in the Regionals, and we booked a hotel. Everything was paid for, and then they canceled the Regional. And I said, well, instead of getting upset and annoyed, I'm just going to go to Florida anyway. We're going to have fun. We're going to go to Universal, and we spent the weekend at Harry Potter World. We went to Diagon Alley. We went to Hogsmeade. It was a ton of fun. I'm not even a big Harry Potter fan, if I'm being perfectly honest. It's cool and all, but it was such a good time. Drank some butterbeer. Got to go on some rides. I don't even like rides, and these were fantastic. So I had a great weekend, and I hope yours was just as good as well. Now, with all that out of the way, let's head over to PTCGO so we can take a look at this new, or I guess somewhat different or new deck. So for some of you, this deck might look pretty familiar. You might be like, Nick, this is just Desert Storm, but we have the addition of Lycanroc V, or I should say the substitution of Sandaconda V and VMAX for Lycanroc V and VMAX. Now we have Hunting Claw for just a single fighting energy. Knock out one of your opponent's Pokemon in play that has 60 HP or less remaining. Hey, you know what has 60 HP or less? Sobbles. And that is a great target for this. Things like Remoraid are great targets, so you can try to knock out your opponent's Remoraids and Sobbles and keep them from finding the stuff they want. Plus, you take a very easy prize. This is a fighting type Pokemon. Now, you don't get to hit for weakness on that because it specifically says 60 or less HP. So that's kind of, I don't want to say annoying, but you're just knocking out things with 60 or less HP. Why do I mention it's fighting type? Well, we have Max Edge, which does 190 damage, and if you hit something that's weak to fighting, like, I don't know, Arceus or Gengar, some of the most popular cards in the game right now, so is Jolteon. Jolteon's up there, and that's also weak to fighting. 190 times 2 is going to be enough to knock out any fighting weak Pokemon in the game. Also, Mew doesn't matter as much because we are weak to grass, not psychic, so that's really cool. Plus we have a retreat cost of 1 as opposed to 3 with Sandaconda. Max Edge also does 30 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon, so that means, hey, they have a Drizzile on the bench, or they have a Sobble. You can hit the active with Max Edge, do 30 damage to that bench Sobble. Now it has 30 health remaining. Next turn, if they evolve it into a Drizzile, it has 90 health minus the 30 damage we did from the snipe of Max Edge. It still has 60 or less health remaining, so we can hit it with Hunting Claw the next turn. So we can use Hunting Claw to set up KOs, or we can use Max Edge to set up KOs for things like Hunting Claw. We can also use Max Edge to soften Pokemon V on the bench. Maybe our opponent has something like a Galarian Zapdos or Galarian Moltres on the bench. Now we hit the active 490. We go in and hit the bench for 30, and then when it comes into the active the following turn, or we can boss it up the following turn, we're now able to take an easier one-shot on a Pokemon that we otherwise would not be able to, because 190 and 30 is 220, which is just where most Pokemon V sit. We do have Choice Belt in there, but we can talk about that later. One of the ways we're going to be able to power up that Lycanroc is of course Arceus V-STAR. You can literally pair Arceus with any Pokemon and it will kind of work because Trinity Nova, 200 damage to the active, and you get to search your deck for up to 3 basic energies and attach them to your Pokemon V in any way you like. You also have the Starburst ability, which is a once per game ability that lets you search your deck for any 2 cards you want, which is super strong. We're starting to see that Arceus and Teleon decks are becoming some of the more popular decks. Mew, I think, is still the most popular, but Arceus and Teleon decks, or Arceus decks in general, are performing they're doing very well because Arceus is such a good card. Retreat cost of 2, which means we're able to retreat for free with Air Balloon. Even the Arceus V, going second, Arceus V, attach a double turbo energy, Trinity Charge, search your deck for 3 basic energies, attach them to your Pokemon V however you want, which means you can even attach it to the active Arceus V that use a Trinity Charge, so you have an energy for next turn, so you can attack with Trinity Nova when you evolve the following turn. Some of the other things in here, we do have a Crobat for a little bit of draw support, right? Dark Asset, when you play this card from your hand to the bench, draw until you have 6 cards. Galarian Zigzagoon, when you play this card from your hand to the bench, put 10 damage or 1 damage counter onto any one of your opponent's Pokemon. Flygon V is very useful here. It's mostly going to be useful in things like the Ice Rider matchup, because you don't hit anything in that deck for weakness. And it's also going to be really nice for maybe even things like Mew, because we are going to be taking one-shots on Mew VMAX. We're going to take one-shots on Ice Rider, Calyrex VMAX, Shadow Rider, Calyrex VMAX. How are we going to do that? Draconic Impulse, 160 damage. But if your opponent's active Pokemon is a VMAX, you do an additional 160. So you're going to be hitting for 320 for Grass Fighting Colorless. And we can use the Trinity Charge, Trinity Nova from Arceus V and V-STAR to power up this Flygon. On the off chance that we're going against something like a Rapid like Urshifu VMAX that does have 330 health, we can use Galarian Zigzagoon, put that 10 damage on that Urshifu, and then now we hit for 320 and 10, 330, just enough to knock it out if we haven't softened it up already with something like Hunting Claw, Max Edge rather. For decks that have a lot of special energy in them, maybe Gengar Houndoom, other opposing Arceus decks, Rapid Strike Urshifu, Mew, anything like that, we have Beedrill with the Persist Sting attack. If your opponent's active Pokemon has any special energy attached to it, it's just knocked out. So this deck is going to be looking to take some very easy knockouts. And of course we have Lumineon V to find a supporter card. When we play this card from our hand to the bench, search your deck for any supporter. We'll cover the energies very quickly. 3 double turbo, 4 fighting, 3 grass to help cover the Beedrill, Lycanroc, and Flygon attack costs, and then Arceus can make use of the double turbo, and then any additional energy. The rest of the deck is going to look pretty similar to Desert Storm decks. We do have 4 Cramomatics. We don't have to run these, we can switch them out with something else. I'm running a list that's 59 cards similar to OnGaard's. It's slightly different. There's 1 card that's different. We do have 2 Energy Search. We have an Ordinary Rod to get some energies back into the deck. 4 Quick Ball, 4 Ultra Ball. Our support accounts are pretty standard. 2 Boss, 3 Research, 1 Raihan, and then instead of having Marnie, we do have Mustard. So you can only play Mustard if it's the last card in your hand, but if you do, search your deck for a single strike Pokemon. If you search your deck this way, you draw 5 cards. Now, we're going to mention 2 things about this card. First off, our Beedrill here. Single Strike Mustard is the only way we can get Beedrill into play because this has the Single Strike tag. So we can play Mustard to get Beedrill onto the field. That's 1. Number 2, you do not have to get a Pokemon in order to draw with Mustard. The card says if you play this card, when you play this card, you can only play it if it's the last card in your hand. Search your deck for a Single Strike Pokemon. If you searched your deck this way, then you draw 5 cards. You do not have to get something. So if your Beedrills are already in play, they're in the discard pile, they're prized, you don't even have the Beedrills in your deck at all. It does not matter as long as you search your deck for it. So want to make that super clear. We do have 3 copies of Air Balloons. Everything in our deck has a retreat cost of 2 or less. 2 Choice Belts, and then 2 copies of Training Court. Training Court, once during our turn, we can get a basic energy from our discard, put it back into our hand. This is where we make the change from OnGaard. We have 1 copy of Shopping Center. The reason we have this is because I guarantee there's going to be times where we need to make use of it. So what does Shopping Center do? Once during each player's turn, they may put a tool attached to one of their Pokemon into their hand. Why would we want to use this? Well, we have an Arceus in the active, we need to get it out, or our opponent bosses up an Arceus and it doesn't have any energy on it or something like that. We can now take the choice belt that's on it, let's pretend there's a choice belt attached to it, play Shopping Stadium or Shopping Center, get the choice belt off, attach the air balloon, and now retreat for free. Or we have our choice belt is on our Arceus and we need it on our Lycanroc to do more damage. We can use the Shopping Center to get it off of the Arceus, attach it onto our Lycanroc, and there we go. Now we hit for 220 versus the 190. In OnGaard's version, they have 3 training courts. I only have the 2 and the 1 Shopping Center. Maybe the 3 training courts is a little bit better, but I like the idea of being able to move my air balloons around if I need. I know I have 3, but I like to be able to move my choice belts if I need. It's going to be, you never know how it's going to be helpful. It might not be helpful at all, but that's why we're going to test it, and let's get into it. Let's try another game. Our opponent conceded that one very, very quickly. So we're going to go first here. I don't even think I'm going to show that in the video. And this is a pretty decent start here. It really depends on what our opponent is playing. The coin kind of tells us that it might be Mew, but they do have the Team Challenge deck box and sleeves, just like we do. So they don't really know what we're playing. And we'll wait to bench anything before we make a decision. We are playing Jolteon, so we definitely do want to go ahead and bench this. And what I think we'll do is we're not going to do the double turbo energy. We're just going to go here because I don't want them to like randomly fan of waves away my double turbo energy. There's a chance they can always Marnie Path. That would be really problematic. I would hate to see that. There's the path. Honestly, I don't even care about the Starbirth right now. I do just really need to focus on getting a Lycanroc into play, or at least powered up. So, there's the Sobble. There's the Elemental Badge. And they're going to hit with Thunder Spear, attacking my Lycanroc so they can Max Thunder Rumble the next turn. I say we double turbo energy here. Let's cram away this energy search, see what we can find. We don't hit it. So we'll quick ball away. We can't Lumineon, we can't do anything else. So let's go ahead and get another Lycanroc. And we are just going to Trinity Charge. Man, this is not good. They won't be able to knock this out, but at least I'll be able to retreat the next turn. That path really, really hurt. We could have searched for a Crobat. Probably is what I would have gone for. Search for Crobat. Draw a fresh 6 cards. But here we are, not being able to do that. So they'll go ahead and start powering up another Jolteon. They get the Evolution Incense for the Drizzile, most likely. Depending on what they have in their hand, of course. If it's, they could go for another Evo Incense. There they go. Get the Jolteon VMAX. I personally don't know if I would have done that, because they had the Evo Incense and now they just wasted an out to a Drizzile. But what do I know? So we are in a pretty decent spot. We'll be able to retreat. We'll drop the double turbo energy. We'll send this up. Kind of all I can do. And we will just Crushing Fangs, take the KO. And now we are ahead on prizes. We get another Lycanroc that's not super, super helpful. Mustard. And a Fighting Energy. So, at the very least, we have a draw support, right? We can attach an energy, drop the Lycanroc, Ultra Ball, or it depends on what we top deck, of course. So they will go ahead and take... Well, they might not take 2 prizes this turn. They are going to go ahead and retreat into... Let's go... Choice Belt. We'll go here. We'll get the Lycanroc VMAX just so we can attack this turn. And we'll Mustard. It's unfortunate that Mustard's not a boss. We're not going to put any Pokemon into play. You know what? Let's put the Beedrill into play in case they do go Speed Lightning Energy. And I'll hit for 190. It's enough to knock this out. So I think... we just go there. Take a prize. They can't knock out this Lycanroc this next turn. And yeah, I'm pretty sure we're set. No matter what they... yeah, there we go. Lycanroc VMAX taking out the Jolteon. Let's do one more quick game. Our first 2 were extremely early concessions. One on my part and one by my opponent. So we only really played 1 game so far. And so we'll do it. We'll do one more. And however this shakes up, that'll just be the video. But yeah, we bricked super hard game 1. If you didn't see it, if you didn't see that brick and the first game you saw was a win against Jolteon, then I didn't show it. But this actually isn't a bad hand. We can kind of work with this. We can Air Balloon to the active, and then Quick Ball away for a Arceus V Double Turbo Energy Trinity Charge. They're not going to be able to disrupt our hand. So that's fun. And even if they do first turn Path, it's not a big deal because we're just looking for the Trinity Charge. The following turn we can cram away potentially something to try to find a stadium. And then we can use our Starburst, Lumineon, whatever we need. So we have a Sobble. Sobbles are great targets for Hunting Claw. Even if we have to max edge something and then soften up a Drizzile. Energy Search to start a fighting. Is this... what is this? Rapid Strike Urshifu? Looks like Rapid Strike Urshifu. Now, we do not run a Dunsparce in this deck, which is not fun. So we'll Quick Ball away. I think the Fighting Energy for now. We can get it back with Ordinary Rod, and we can get it back with Training Court. And I want to leave a target to cram later. And I don't think I need a Lumineon right now. I'm just going to go ahead and Trinity Charge. We'll get we'll do something like this. We'll attach them all here, because we have the Energy Search. And I don't want to attach to the active, because if they do, they're not going to be able to Gale Thrust, but they could, in theory, hit me with the G-Max Rapid Flow if they discard a Water Energy, attach double... no, they can't, actually. They could hit me with 100 Furious Blows. Same effect. I'm still knocked out, but we would look to get a Mustard and a Beedrill at that point. So there's the Urshifu. They don't have a Water Energy in discard. They can keep calling. That's definitely something they can do. So I do want to look to set up either the Beedrill or the Flygon, because Max Edge will put 30 damage onto an Urshifu. So even if they evolve into the VMAX, they have 300 health remaining. Flygon will then be able to take the KO with Draconic Impulse. But because they have that Rapid Strike Energy, I do really want to try to get a Beedrill out this turn. So we'll see what we can do. We get a Research. So we're going to cram away this energy. We fail it. That's unfortunate. We're gonna get... We're going to get a boss's orders. No, I can't get a boss's orders because I won't be able to knock out this Urshifu. We'll get nothing. I'll just discard. That was a mistake. Shouldn't have done that. We don't need all these Lycanrocs, so we'll go ahead and get a Flygon here. Let's Ordinary Rod. We just want to shuffle the energy back into the deck so we can target it with... I need a spot for Beedrill, so we're going to draw 3. Hopefully I can find the Arceus V-Star. We don't have any target for Cram. That's really unfortunate. So, yeah, that's not fun. That's not what you want to see. Oh, man. This is not good. No Arceus V-Star. We only run 2, which is, you would think, enough. We have 6 outs between the 4 Ultra Balls and the 2 Arceus V-Stars, but maybe a third is warranted. So they're going to go ahead and Drizzile most likely for something like a Scoop Up Net or Air Balloon Tower of Water, something like that. Oh no, okay, they go immediately for the Drizzile. They can't Tower of Water now, but they can Scoop Up Net, Escape Rope, Air Balloon. They go Telescopic Sight, so they have to have some switch out. They can manually retreat. It's definitely something, and then just Gale Thrust for 150. So, and I have no way of being able to mustard this next turn. So they're gonna take 2 prizes. This is a terrible hand to have. And they Marnie me. Oh, thank you. I really wanted to see that Marnie. Now, there was an argument for putting that other Arceus V down so that when they do knock this out, I still can get the V-Star and still... I can still Starburst if I need. But let's see. We have a couple of options here. We might be able to go B. There's a chance we get B. That would be pretty great. We have 4 fighting. We have 2 grass energies. If we, as long as we don't draw into a grass energy, it wouldn't be awful. Because we will shuffle, but I'm gonna Rapid Flow here and probably the Flygon. Oh no, they're gonna take 4 prizes right there. Right, I forgot about. Yeah, and that makes perfect sense. I would have done that too. I don't have any grass energy in the discard. Man, that was not fun for anyone. So we can Ultra Ball U2. And I can't B now, though. I can't B. So we'll get the Arceus V-Star. And let's Quick Ball for a Zigzagoon. Put damage here. And now we'll Starburst for a Grass Energy, has to be. And a Research? Or do we do Mustard anyway? Do we Mustard anyway? I think we do. Because then if they do attach a Rapid Energy here, then we can still go ahead and knock it out. Kind of keeps it from getting an easy 2 prizes. We'll retreat. We'll bring up the Flygon. And we will take our 3 prizes. A little unfortunate that we had such a slow start. I think we definitely want to put a Grass Energy into the discard as well. So that if we do Training Court, we can get it back. Choice Belt, not needed. Mustard, not needed. Air Balloon, needed, kind of. But we do have the Shopping Center, assuming we can't find a Grass Energy. They can wrap, unfortunately. Oh man, maybe I shouldn't have done the B. Oh no, they can't knock this out because it has 130 health, because they could knock this out. So we'll see what the plan is. But yeah, they might look to Aqua Bullet. The Shady Dealings. This is gonna be close. I might have made a couple of misplays. I haven't obviously played this deck against Rapid Strike Urshifu, so I don't know the matchup super well. Or at all, apparently. And it's, you might be watching and being like, oh, you should have done this, but, you know, we're out here trying, right? We're just trying our best. And that's kind of what it comes down to. I'm still coming out of vacation mode. I haven't played really that much. We played a very little bit about, oh my god, we played a very little amount of Pokemon on vacation. They are going to boss up. Oh, I guess technically all they have to do is boss up the Arceus and then Gale Thrust it, and then they win, right? That's pretty much all they have to do. So they have to have an energy and a scoop up net or escape some way of getting that Inteleon out of the active. So they probably just win. I don't think there's too much I could have done differently. But it's just the way it goes sometimes, you know? You have a little bit of a slow start. I do think that is one of the problems of these kind of Desert Storm decks sometimes, because you only have your draw support is Mustard and Research. And if you... half your draw support you can only play if it's the last card in your hand. That means if you have a... they pass. Huh. They're waiting for me. Are they waiting for me to knock this out? Now what do I do? I have 3 prizes remaining. I want to Marnie them, but like I don't have Marnie, so I can't. I think I just research here. Let's cram an Air Balloon, I guess. We've hit it. It's nice. Let's see. If I attack this, maybe, maybe. We'll just Hunting Claw. I think that's probably the best play here, right? They can boss and Gale Thrust. And they know they can't attach a Grass Energy. Because if they do, I knock it out with the Rapid Strike Energy. So, there's the path. I don't really care about that too much. They give me another Sobble. I'm going to Ordinary Rod. Try to get some energy back into the deck. Let's see. Do I just hunting call this other Sobble? And they Marnie. Okay. Not great. But if we can get a training court, that'd be fantastic. Especially if they attach that, which it doesn't really matter because they don't have the boss. So, and we can't cram because we have no targets. We have to discard an item card from our hand in order to use that. They get the fighting energy. And they can't Crobat because of their path. So... this is going to be tough. I kind of want to save that. And we'll just hunting claw again. This is very, very scary. So they might have done themselves in with their own path. And I don't want to take it away from them. They're going to Echoing Horn. What are they going to put on my bench of Lumineon? I mean, if they have the retreat and the boss, they win anyway. They didn't need a Lumineon. Can they do it? This only does 150. No. I need the boss. I need to hit this heads. Yes! Oh my god, yes! Oh, that's... sure, whatever. Oh! Oh, the Cram-O-Matic coming in clutch. What a close game. So there you have it, OnGaard's Lycanroc Arceus VSTAR deck. It worked super well, and I do really think that shopping court really made a big difference in that game. It allowed me to get that the Flygon out of the active and still be able to attach. Or if I didn't have the energy, I don't really remember the situation honestly, even though it just happened. But yeah, super fun deck. Do I think there could be some changes made? Absolutely. I'm not even though the Cram-O-Matics won me the game, I am not a huge fan of them. I'd rather just have a third boss and some other consistency cards. But who knows? This is just a fun deck, and they managed to hit top 8. I don't think I said it at the beginning of the video, but OnGaard, they hit top 8 in the late night series with this deck. So huge congratulations. I can't believe I forgot to say that. I'm very, very sorry, but thank you very much for sharing this list. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found this informative. And if you did, like, subscribe, comment, all that kind of stuff. And Dragon Shield link in the video description, membership options, all that fun clicking things, because clicking is cool. And that's my new phrase. Clicking is cool. That's going to do it for us today. Thanks so much, and I will see you next time.